welcome.
What up, what up? Coffee Bean Experience, baby. Yeah. So we are, almost a month into the COVID shutdown. So,
this is our log.
This is our video log from
Dave Whitestone.
What's it called? What's Ground Zero? From Ground Zero. This is our video log from Ground Zero of COVID-19. The episode. Have you noticed by the way, our episode today is actually going to be on our favorite meals for each, like breakfast, lunch, dinner.
So I had an idea. Every time you do that, we change the lights to a color to match with it.
Oh, what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool idea. Like with your little Alexa and your neon lights behind us.
Yeah. So what color goes with food?
Green. Oh no, yellow and red. Yellow and red. Did you guys know this? Interesting tidbit. Again, my name's Dave, and this is Isaiah.
Yeah,
welcome to the Coffee Bean Experience. Interesting tidbit, Isaiah. Did you know what two colors are more prone to activate your appetite?
Oh, yellow and red. That's why McDonald's is yellow and red.
That's why McDonald's is yellow and red.
Wow.
Those two colors, I don't know. You could research it, and there might be other studies out there. But I found that an interesting tidbit. So anyway, we are about a month into, I think the shutdown happened around the 18th of March.
It's funny, though, because this thing started as like a joke almost. And then, yeah, I did. And then people
you mean
started.
For us? Your friends.
Us.
You talk about your friends.
For
I don't think Governor Inslee was
joking
or Dr. Fauci. He's such an alarmist. I don't think he was joking.
Well, I don't know.
But you're saying you and your friends. You and your friends.
Yeah. We all thought it was hilarious.
Yeah. And now you guys are, but you don't even, I wonder what you guys, so you have to admit, Isaiah, that you are pretty insulated from the whole reality. Like, you don't feel the stress I feel.
No. But I'm also not as old as you are.
No, I know. You don't have to pay the bills of our home. So, right. I mean, so you say, like, even for you guys. Yeah, but
most of America's youth doesn't have to pay rent.
No, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm not talking about you versus other youth. I'm talking about youth, you and your friends thinking it's a joke. It was never a joke to me and many of my adult friends, because we saw the writing on the wall, and we knew that it's not sustainable. What's the end game here? Like, what's going to happen? So now we're a month into this, and tell you what, I mean, 17 million Americans on unemployment. That's no joke, right? So anyway,
we're literally making history right now. We're going to be.
Yeah, we're living history right now.
Cool.
Mom talked to you guys about that the other day. Did you start journaling?
Video logging.
Video logging. You should be journaling, like handwriting.
Yeah, I know.
Because it's you're living history right now. This is insanity. Whether COVID-19, whether it turns out, which I think history will show, we overreacted to COVID-19. Whether we overreacted, whether we acted appropriately, this is history. We're living history.
Yeah,
whether Governor Inslee's a dipwad or what, we're living history.
Yeah.
So, so we're talking about our favorite foods today. We're not really covering COVID-19. We can talk about that later if you guys want to. Comment below, or do we have an email yet, Isaiah? A Gmail? The Coffee Bean Experience at Gmail?
We have the same one.
The Coffee Bean Experience?
Mm-hmm.
What's our actual email?
I don't know. The Coffee Bean Experience at gmail.com.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You don't know the password and everything?
I have the password written down.
Okay, get that to me. Because we should actually have you guys start emailing into us.
Yeah.
And the Coffee Bean Experience at Gmail, he thinks.
It doesn't matter that much. They can just comment in the video.
It actually does matter to stay in touch with your customer base, but to use all the mediums, YouTube, Anchor, Spotify, email. Eventually, if this blows up, we'll want to have a web page, dude.
Yeah. With
merch, you want to have merch, you can make good money on merchandise. So, we're talking about our favorite foods today, a little lighthearted break from being quarantined in our homes. Before we get to the food, though, Isaiah, wouldn't you say, though, I mean, this whole...
Let's have a second my eye.
Oh, my word. He's out. 10, 9,
Keep going.
8. I'm the referee counting. 1, 2,
oh, my word.
3, 4, the knockout blow to Isaiah.
We're good.
Now he's good.
We're fine.
So there are legitimately people around the world. I don't know if you guys have seen them. The videos of like Italians.
Dope, though.
The videos of Italians singing from their windows and stuff to try to stay connected to each other.
Yeah, they're doing workout. They work out too.
They're singing too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'd have to admit though, Isaiah, for the purposes of your quarantine, you have a very blessed life.
Yeah.
Like you live on a lake. And
if it gets nicer, I'm gonna go swimming.
Yeah.
It just needs to get a little bit nicer, honestly. I'll just send it,
You'll just jump in and send it?
If it gets like 70s, like 4 days in a row, I'll send it.
Say hi, Olive. Say hi. Look at Olive in the camera.
We need to have her more on this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm gonna interview her one day. She's gonna sit here. I'm gonna sit there, and we're gonna ask her some questions.
So we are talking today. The main point of our topic today. We do have a very blessed life, so we're not like quarantined like in a small apartment or condo somewhere in big urban, like metropolitan area like New York or Seattle even. We're in a suburban area. We've got almost a half acre, which isn't a lot of land to some of you that maybe live in rural areas. I mean, if you got acres, we don't got acres. We don't even have 1 acre.
Right, but if you live in city, it's pretty good city land.
Yeah, suburb. We don't really live in the city. We live in a suburb, but
yeah.
So we're not like quarantined, and we have almost a 3,000 square foot house, but there's 9 of us in it. So do the math on that, y'all. 9 of us in 3,000 square feet. That's probably more congested than most of you live. So that being said, we are talking about our favorite foods. We just had a delicious breakfast. What did you think? First, describe the breakfast, Isaiah.
Well, I mean, I didn't get the whole breakfast.
Yeah, you did.
I mean,
yeah, you did. That was the whole breakfast. You just got smaller portions.
Right. I thought it was really good.
Can you just describe it?
I don't really remember it.
Oh my word. This is how blessed this guy's life is. He doesn't remember this amazing breakfast we had.
Okay, you tell me if you remember your breakfast. Tell me if you remember your breakfast. Not you, just the audience. Tell me if you remember your breakfast. This is actually good reflection time. If you can't remember your breakfast, you're probably too blessed.
You're spoiled. You're spoiled. If you can't remember your breakfast, you're spoiled. You don't agree with that, Isaiah?
Oh, I agree.
If you can't remember the food, the sustenance you put down your pie hole, you don't think you're kind of spoiled?
A little bit.
Okay, so what we had this morning, since Isaiah doesn't remember, maybe this will jar his memory. What are you doing, bro? We can't even see it in the picture. You're not engaged in talk show. You got to work that stuff out before and after the talk show. Just go with whatever the lights are, sir. Go with whatever the lights are.
Just continue the podcast. Just keep going.
It's a 2-person podcast, and my co-host is doinking around with the LED lights.
Just go.
All right, so we had basically your mom. What are you looking at, Isaiah?
The dog.
Leave the dog alone. Who cares?
It's so cute. I'm gonna squeeze her little face.
So what Isaiah's mom did was she sautéed the green peppers and the onions and a little bit of garlic in the pan. Sautéed them.
Chef David White's
onions to a nice caramelized, transparent. That's when you know the onions are sautéed properly. A little transparency. Then Isaiah, she put in a little ham about a third the way through the sautéing process. So then the ham and the garlic and the peppers and the onions kind of sautéed together. There was a nice caramelizing brown on the ham as it cooked a little bit extra. Then she made then she kind of pushed that to the side of the pan, made a delicious scramble with eggs, and then mixed all the peppers and onions and garlic.
If I was a viewer, I'd want to hit you in the head right now.
Why?
Because you're making me hungry.
You just ate. How can you be hungry after you just ate?
But
for all you Americans out there.
If I was a viewer.
What if they just ate? They shouldn't be hungry.
What if they didn't just eat?
So anyway, she made a delicious scramble. Then she had these new kind of hashed potatoes, and they're not the kind, I don't know how to describe it. They're a little bit thicker. They're not the tiny ones that get real crispy. These ones are actually
freeze-dried.
No, they weren't freeze-dried.
Yeah, she uses freeze-dried one.
No, she does use freeze-dried. These weren't freeze-dried. These were a new kind, I think. I would guess, if I had to guess, she got them from Trader Joe's. I can't tell you exactly. I should have the package here since we're talking about food. We actually should work on that, Isaiah, visuals.
Yeah.
Put visuals like, hey, these potatoes. So these potatoes, if you like your hash browns, I don't even know if they're called hash browns, but they're like potato strips, like almost pasta noodly looking things. And you could brown them a little bit more for visual probably appeal.
Okay, Dad, get back to the point.
I'm on the point, Isaiah. If you were engaged in the conversation, I'm describing the breakfast we had today.
Okay, keep going.
We're talking about our favorite meals. I'm on point, dude. You're the one petting the dog, staring around, ADHD.
She's kind of cute.
Whatever, dude. So anyway, these potatoes you can brown them a little bit. Of course, salt, pepper. But they're not real crispy. Yeah, you'd almost probably ruin them if you made them crispy. So they're a little bit browned, a little bit soft, for lack of a better word. But they're cooked, though. You could tell they're cooked. Delicious, though. I'm one that likes my hash browns crispy. What about you, Isaiah? How do you like your hash browns?
Crispy.
Do you know what hash browns are, Isaiah?
Potatoes.
Good job. Your American education.
Look at the dog really quick. Look. I'm literally kind of pushing this. She's pushing back. She's a leaner dog.
She's a leaner dog.
She's so cute.
Okay, so
I'm a little bit too obsessed with this.
Yes, hash browns are potatoes. What kind of potatoes, Isaiah?
I don't know. I didn't get that far. We don't have food education.
Yeah, but you're a human being with an intelligent brain.
Okay. You
should be able to tell me what kind
of cut up hash browns.
Cut up.
Shaved, like
shredded, right? Shredded
that's
potatoes. Not shredded hash browns. Hash browns are shredded potatoes.
That's what I meant.
Okay, so for all of our non-American people out there, maybe they don't speak English very good. You need to be able to describe things like this, dude.
They don't just go around asking what's a hash brown.
Yeah. They might, actually. Don't you think if they're visiting America, they would ask what a hash brown is? What are you talking about hash browns?
No, probably more French fry. Hash browns, French fries are more popular.
So, hash browns, you didn't describe how you like your hash browns, Isaiah.
I like them a little bit more on the crispy side. I don't really like them crunchy.
If you had them soft, the spectrum of soft or crispy on that spectrum, totally soft, totally crispy, what would you do?
I'd put them in the middle.
So how about this? What if I described them for you? Do you like your hash browns where the outside's a nice crispy brown and the inside's kind of a nice cooked potato but soft?
Yeah. But I don't like...
Isn't that the best?
I don't like when they're too crunchy on the outside. I hate that. It hurts my teeth. It's not enjoyable.
Yeah. If they're too cooked crunchy, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't like them when they're too mushy.
Yeah, that's true.
Not crispy brown at all. That's disgusting.
Okay, let's move on. So, what's your favorite food?
We were talking about the breakfast this morning, actually, Isaiah. So, how would you rate today's, since you barely remember it, how would you rate this in your all-time favorite breakfast?
Good. It had like bacon, it had eggs. I put it all together, make like a hash.
Today's breakfast, how would you rate today's breakfast?
Like an 8 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was so good you couldn't remember it. It's an 8 out of 10 and you couldn't remember it.
Dude, when you eat, you don't look at every little piece of
I promise you this, Isaiah. I always remember my last meal.
Okay. I'll ask you tonight.
Yeah, do that, bro.
Well, of course you can remember what it was.
No, you didn't.
You can't memorize everything in it.
You didn't even know what you ate.
Yeah, it was like eggs and hash. It was like a breakfast. Like an American breakfast.
Did you cook yourself a piece of toast?
No.
All right. So you rate this breakfast on an 8. By the way, you know what also I had with my breakfast this morning? I don't usually do this at all. This is a little bit crazy.
What?
I had a mimosa.
It's gross.
A mimosa for the grossa.
I only drink beer. I don't take shots.
I don't drink a lot of other kinds of alcohol besides beer, and I don't often drink mimosas, but I don't know, this whole coronavirus crap, I just needed a mimosa today.
Okay, so moving on. What is your favorite meal?
Of the day, like breakfast, lunch, dinner?
No, period.
No. Let's start with that. What?
Okay, breakfast.
Thinking. Did you know, by the way, not every culture in the world eats different foods for breakfast and dinner? Like America, I think is a little bit unique. Europe's kind of like America, but like, name your breakfast foods. Name what you eat for breakfast.
I love egg sandwiches.
Mm-hmm. Of course, you love those for dinner.
Just eggs. Frick, this thing is being stupid.
Can you quit messing with the mic? We're in a talk show.
Eggs, bacon. I like sausage over bacon.
Hash brown, sausage.
Hash brown.
You're forgetting a whole bunch of breakfast foods that we normally eat.
Yeah.
Keep naming them.
Hash.
No, not even
quiche.
Quiche, good. What else? Not even egg-based, not even cooking. What about all the breakfasts we eat that you don't barely cook?
Bananas, cereal.
Yeah, cereal.
Yeah, but I thought we were going over our favorite, not just...
No, we're just going over breakfast foods. Watch, I have a point to this. What other breakfast foods? Yogurt?
Yeah.
What else? Bagels?
Ice cream.
We don't eat ice cream for breakfast, Nestor.
Sometimes.
Name typically what you eat for lunch. This is kind of an American thing.
Sandwiches.
Yep, sandwiches, chips.
Hamburgers sometimes.
Really for lunch?
Very rarely.
Rarely,
very
dude. If you're gonna go
I only eat. If I ever eat lunch, I wake up late. So like, if I eat lunch, it's just a sandwich.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm going.
All right. I mean, you could probably throw in there wraps. You could throw in there probably
tacos.
Tacos is more of a dinner thing for Americans. So then name the things you eat for dinner. There's a whole bunch of meals you don't eat for breakfast that you eat for dinner.
It depends on
No, but name all the ones your mom makes. Lasagna,
tacos,
spaghetti, tacos.
Sure, spaghetti.
What else?
Spaghetti.
Stews.
Pasta. All the
pastas,
stews you can think of.
All different kinds of stews.
Potato stew, tomato stew, soup.
So anyway, did you know that like in
hamburgers,
there you go. Tacos.
I already said tacos.
Do you know the dish pho?
Yeah.
What is that? Do you know what that is?
It's like ramen noodles on crack.
It's really good. It's way better than ramen noodles.
My mom doesn't like it, so I could eat her leftovers.
Did you know when do we normally eat pho here in America?
Lunch.
Lunch or dinner. Did you know in Vietnam, where pho is from, they eat it for breakfast?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? So would you think of pho as a breakfast food?
No.
I think oftentimes, did you know in Mexico, when I've been to Mexico tons of times, did you know in Mexico they have rice and beans with almost every meal?
Yeah, because...
The part of Mexico I went to, Juarez.
Isn't that, like, commonly, easily grown?
Rice, beans, tortillas, corn tortillas, never flour tortillas. Flour tortillas is such an American thing. Corn tortillas. So I think in America we're kind of spoiled because we have breakfast foods, we have lunch foods, and we have dinner foods, and you better not cross over. So first question to you is, what is your favorite meal? If you had to pick breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and the foods, this is an American survey question. Sorry for all you immigrants or foreigners. But if you're citizens, good job. You can become part of the American culture. Isaiah, you have to pick, and when you pick that, so think about this. You can only eat the foods that we typically eat in those times. If you had to pick breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and you could comment below. So here's the conditions of the survey question, and you can email us at thecoffeebeanexperience@gmail.com. Isaiah, you have to pick breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You have to eat it the rest of your life, but you could eat any of the foods in that category. So what you typically have for breakfast, what you typically have for lunch, what you typically have for dinner. What would you pick, breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
Okay. I gotta think about this now.
Remember waffles?
I know.
French toast.
I understand the question.
But then think of Subway sandwiches, lunch. That's a lunch thing. Think of Mom's good lasagna schnitzel. You wouldn't be able to have schnitzel. That's not a breakfast thing. You have to pick breakfast the rest of my life.
I heard the question.
Lunch. Okay.
It'd probably be between breakfast.
You have to pick one.
Okay, it'd probably have to be breakfast. And then it would probably have to be...
You're picking breakfast.
So I would start with a croissant bun.
No. We're not asking your actual favorite meal. You would pick breakfast foods for the rest of your life if you had to pick one meal.
Yeah, probably. They're just too good.
That's a fair argument. I think I probably would have said that when I was younger because I didn't like all these other things like broccoli. I think I'm going with dinner.
Yeah,
dinner's so diverse. Dinner's so diverse. I mean, I'm gonna miss Subways. What are you gonna miss in the other meals, other lunches,
Subways, things like that.
Subways, schnitzel,
steak.
Yeah, you can't have. Well, you could argue steak and eggs. That's kind of a classic American.
That's true. Steak and eggs is actually good. I had that for my birthday.
All right.
The first time.
Now, next food question. What is your favorite ethnic category of food? You have to pick one. You can only have one. Italian, Mexican, German.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't had too much ethnic food other than big countries.
You've had Italian. I mean, you've had German. You've had Mexican, ton of Mexican.
Yeah.
You've had Asian, stir fry.
Yeah, that's true.
So Asian, let's categorize all that in instead of break that up into and like Mexican, you could say Latin America.
Probably German.
German, really?
Yeah.
I would have said like 10 years ago.
I've had Thai food.
I would have said 10 years ago Italian, but dude, the pasta's so heavy. Most of the pasta we eat
a lot of pasta.
Cheese, so much cheese in those meals. I'm sure Mediterranean, like Greek food, is way healthier.
Yeah, you like freaking gyros.
Oh, I love gyros.
I don't know why.
Dude, they're so delicious.
They're not that good, and they're overpriced.
They're so good. If I had to pick one genre right now, it'd be Asian.
I'm good.
Besides American, of course. I mean, I love our American cuisine.
I stick with German. I like.
You're sticking with German. I mean, I have German would be. You haven't had a ton. Yeah, but schnitzel. You haven't had a ton of other German foods.
Dogs.
Like the Brautwurst and the Blutwurst is. I mean, there's a lot of pork.
I'm sure I'd like it. I mean, I'm pretty American.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So, anyway, that is our episode on food, and you doubted we could fill a whole session of food.
I did.
Yeah, you did. You said, "Are you sure?"
No, you said seasons.
Oh, we're going to talk about seasons. Oh, you wait till we talk about seasons. We're going to talk about your favorite season. Like Isaiah's mom has a different favorite season. I have a different favorite season.
I do too.
I think you might be surprised my favorite season. Anyway, so one of our next episodes coming up soon, we'll be talking about seasons. So, thank you for joining us for the Coffee Bean Experience. Food is important, and it's not just something you should throw away. I forget the statistics on how much food Americans throw away.
So much.
Oh, my word, we throw so much food away. But anyway, thank you for joining us for the Coffee Bean Experience. My name's Dave.
My name's Isaiah. We'll see you later.
We'll see you.